after we had a meeting in France. In the meantime, up to today, there were several technical meetings that took place till this very morning.
Are you confident in a good result?
I think what I have spoken with my colleagues, Castagnaro and Seehofer, last night, we had a very frank discussion, and I said that we have to put each one of us in each other's shoes, and we have to tackle the humane and security aspect. Eventually, I think if there is a will, there is a way. It depends on the discussion that will be ongoing, and there are some political issues which we'll have to decide on today, but this will be only the first step. This will be a direction, a policy. Eventually, we have to present it on the 8th of October in Luxembourg during the council meeting for Home Affairs, and eventually we have to get all the other countries to accept this agreement. Hopefully there will be one paper, will be converging on one paper, and eventually the other countries then have to voluntarily come in with regards to disembarkation and to the relocation process. I cannot say 100% that we will succeed today, but the intention, the four of us, is that we come to a conclusion.
Do you think that France and Germany will accept lots of migrants, economic migrants, not only refugees?
From the last experience that we had, contrary to the very first processes of the ad hoc relocations, and the last ad hoc relocations, both France and Germany have been accepting both those people entitled for asylum and those people who are not entitled for asylum. So the things have changed, and the way of looking at the relocation process has changed. We have to decide two things. One of them is the disembarkation, will take place at the earliest time possible, not spending days at sea until the Commission comes to a conclusion by uniting a number of countries to relocate all those people who are on board that NGO boat, and eventually a quick process for relocation. Right now, the relocation process is taking too long, and we are discussing on how we can also decrease the time frames but between the disembarkation and the relocation process. One has also to discuss, and eventually we have to come to a certain conclusion with regards to when a country is under stress. I know that with regards to the Dublin regulations, we are still far away in this converging of papers. We are talking about the need for changes in the Dublin regulation, but no country should be left. And maybe only a few know that Malta is at the external border, and it is the only country which is not protected, neither by Frontex nor by any other operation by the EU. So part of the EU external border is exposed, that is Malta, because we don't have any operations that cover our area.
How is the relationship with the new Italian government?
I dare say that it is improving. Still, there is time to see the Italian situation, the political situation as is, and we have to also understand the Italian scenario with this present government that doesn't want to look too compared to the previous government. So there is a process that we have to wait for until the real policies come out.
What about only 10% is back from NGOs? So what about the others?
Excuse me, I didn't get that.
Only 10% disembark from NGO ships. So what about the other nationals?
I can't understand the 10% from NGO boats, actually.
In Italy, yes.
ONG.
Pardon?
NGO.
No, from the NGO boats, all...
Only 10% in Italy is 10%.
Okay, what we have done so far is that Malta has taken the responsibility, even though it was not an obligation on us. We're not not either responsible for the disembarkation process, but we took it on in spite of Malta being under stress with migrants being rescued by the maritime sector of our armed forces.